Reality. It's an ambiguous concept. It's an individual's perception of environment and situations with their five senses. What that means is how you perceive it is how it is. So when we come to terms with that, we realize we, in fact, create our reality.
We create our own reality. We decide who we are and what we're gonna be. We create our own.
All right. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Leveled Up podcast with me, Mike Adler. Hope everyone is doing well. As always, thank you so much for being here today, for tuning in. It's another beautiful Monday, hopefully, where you're at. Let's start the week off strong as always. We're going to discuss some things that hopefully get you thinking and working to be the better version of yourself, because we're all about leveling up here at the Leveled Up podcast. That's what it's all about. So first off, just get some housekeeping out of the way. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please take a moment and hit subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever I drop new videos. And I release shorts at least every day and a podcast every week. So every sub helps get the podcast to grow. So that would mean a whole lot to me. And yeah, takes a second. So if you could do that, it'd be appreciated. And then also give me a follow over on Instagram and TikTok at The Real Mike Adler. I post content on those two platforms as well, daily, and you know, the more reach I can get, the more I can, you know, spread these messages of motivation and discipline and inspiration. And you know, it all starts, people don't think they can make a difference, but every individual, it all starts with the individual. And if we could get one person to work on themselves to become a more excellent version of themselves, that then has a domino effect to the people around that person, and hopefully those people, you know, become better, and the cycle just repeats. But we have to reach as many people as possible in order for this to work, you know. So give me a follow over there, and tell a friend about the podcast. Hit share on this podcast. Sharing goes a long way. But even if you don't do that, which I hope you do, even if you don't, I appreciate you watching this right now. It means everything. And like I said, that's how we're going to get the message out there. That's how we're going to make things better. That's how we're going to make people better. So hit that share if you can. I know you can. Come on. So, let's see. Today, real quick, I also offer one-on-one coaching. If you're interested in coaching, if you're interested in leveling up your life, becoming the 2.0 version of yourself, where we focus on getting your fitness, your mindset dialed in, and then also it's a goal-oriented program where we're going to focus on smashing your goals. If that is something that interests you, please reach out on either TikTok or Instagram, or you can email me too at therealmikeadler@gmail.com. Reach out. And I also have a online course called the Get Fit Blueprint, which teaches you how to get the physique that you desire having. That is going to be available in the show notes here in the description. There'll be a link for both signing up for coaching and for the Get Fit Blueprint. So Now, with that out of the way, today, people today have it pretty easy in comparison to how it was in the past. You hear stories from your parents or grandparents about how they walked uphill both ways to school and didn't have shoes, and had to fight in the wars, and everything was just different. Everything was harder. Before the advent of the smartphone, really, we've had this crazy technological boom in the last 20 years. Things have really rapidly increased, but since 1960, think how much shit has changed. And a lot of inventions, especially technological ones, they come from a place of making things more convenient. The more convenient something is, the more valuable it is. People pay for convenience. That's what Uber is. You're paying for its time. You're paying for your time, really. You're saving time and for the convenience. So when you think of that, you realize that all of this new technology has been created for convenience, and therefore we live a pretty damn convenient life. There's refrigerators that can order your food, I think. That can, order things because you're out or you're low. You can have groceries delivered to your house. You can have a car come pick you up at a scheduled time anywhere. And, just all these things that have made life super convenient. And the reason that convenience is so valuable is because humans inherently seek comfort. Our brains are wired to seek comfort. Excuse me. So we're wired to, save energy. That's really what it was, is how we have how can the body burn as little fuel and need as little resources to keep going. And that's why we inherently seek comfort. That's why when you're, working out, having a strenuous workout, your brain is telling you to stop because it knows that you're using up valuable resources. It doesn't know that you can open an app and have more food delivered to the gym if you wanted to. It doesn't know those things. It just sees that too many calories going out. Stop. Pain, discomfort. It sends those signals to you so that you hopefully stop. And that idea of, your brain telling you to stop is what we're going to talk about today, which is overcoming that voice, that signal telling you to stop, and actually seeking it out. There's people not just nowadays, since this is something that's instilled in us, people have always sought out comfort. It's just way easier to be comfortable today. And because it's so easy, that's why we have to take it upon ourselves to manufacture adversity into our lives. Because if we don't do that, it's way too easy to live a way too easy life. And when you're comfortable is when the least amount of growth is happening. So if you're trying to grow and get better and reach the higher version of yourself, it's imperative that you have adversity to overcome, that you struggle. And since it's so easy to be comfortable, you have to manufacture that. You have to engineer that into your life, or else you're just gonna remain the same. Your brain will let you just lay there because it wants you to just conserve energy. So, and I was listening to a podcast with David Goggins, and this man is the epitome of this concept. I'm sure you've heard of David Goggins, and as you know, he's accomplished a lot of things in his life. And what he was saying in this podcast was that, he has his book out, he's a public speaker, he's accomplished, he's a Navy SEAL in the Air Force, had the pull-up record, has ran all these 100-mile plus races and marathons and just all these things that he's done. And, it was on Joe Rogan's podcast. He asked him about what he's, doing now that he's accomplished all this and stuff. And this man, David Goggins, said that he has become a part-time volunteer firefighter, because he literally looked up on Google what are the hardest things to do, and that was like one of the first ones that came up, because he doesn't want to, he's constantly, the thought of being comfortable is what scares him most. So he is constantly seeking out ways to push himself harder and farther. And listening to the conversation really is what, and it made me want to do this topic for this podcast. But this is something that I talk about all the time, but I realized I don't really have I don't have an episode about it. But it is critical that we do things that are difficult. I mean, really think about it. What in your life have you done that is uncomfortable recently, that you chose to do? Something that was uncomfortable, maybe that you didn't even choose to do. Because so many people, even if you don't choose to do it, there's a lot of people who don't have many struggles, even if they don't choose to do it. But think about it, what do you do that is uncomfortable? And there's another podcast with Andrew Huberman I saw a clip of, and what is the part of the brain? It's the anterior singular median. Hang on. Now I need to know. Anterior mid-cingulate cortex. Anterior mid-cingulate cortex. So Huberman was saying this part of the brain, it actually grows when you do something, when you overcome something that you don't want to do. And he said that's a key part of it. By forcing yourself to do something that is hard that you don't want to do, or that your brain is telling you don't do it, sending those signals, by doing it and overcoming it, that part of the brain actually grows. And he was saying how that, that part of the brain is bigger in athletes and I forget who, but people who, overcome hard shit. And it's smaller in people who are obese and don't push themselves. So your brain literally grows by doing things that you don't want to do. And this has been one of the big things on my personal development journey personally that I've come to realize is like the biggest factor. First I discovered fitness. And fitness really is the cornerstone to personal development. But then there's this other part, which is almost equally, if not equally important, which is doing hard shit, self-inflicted adversity. And the reason the fitness is number one is because it includes that. It includes that aspect of doing hard shit that you don't want to do. So really when I started to understand that, because I was already going to the gym regularly, but I was just doing I was doing it as I was going to the gym after work when it was convenient. But when I really started to realize that I need to suffer more, because I kind of liked going to the gym. I do like going to the gym. So it's not necessarily suffering for me. So I started waking up at 3 a.m. and going to the gym, because that's an example of self-inflicted adversity that you can easily start incorporating into your life. You don't need to start training for and sign up for a 100-mile run right away or whatever. Literally just start with waking up. You'd be surprised at what waking up uncomfortably early can do for you. And it has to be uncomfortably early. People say, I woke up at 5, it's early. That's not early. So I started getting up at 3 and going to the gym at 3:30, getting to the gym by 3:30. And starting the day with that is it primes you for the day, because you start the day doing something very uncomfortable and then go right into a workout, which is hard and strenuous, another hard thing. So I start my day by doing these difficult tasks so that the rest of the day things are easier, because I've already started at this high threshold of difficult shit. So that's been a big thing for me in my personal development journey. And I know that for you too, if you're trying to level up your life, you really need to audit your situation and see how easy your life is and be honest. Sorry if my eyes look crazy. My contacts are drying out right now. So they're it's hard to open my eyes. Start by implementing something hard. Start with the wake up. Wake up early. Do a workout. 2 hard things. But the other thing that is important is we need to work on our internal dialogue where we're shutting up that voice that's telling us to stop. There's that little bitch voice in us that will tell you to take it easy, to stop, this is hard. And we need to shut it up. And that takes practice. Even to this day, like there's days where I wake up at 3 and my brain will tell me, just start making excuses why I shouldn't go to the gym. And sometimes they are valid. If I've gone on like a stretch of 10 days without a break, or I had a really strenuous, leg or back workout the day before, which are, big muscle groups, those take a lot out of you. So and if I didn't get to sleep until 10, 11 and woke up every hour, a lot of times that stuff happens and I still, make myself go. But there are times, and you just have to be real with yourself, where it's like, do I really need a break? Or am I just being a little bitch? Because for me, I always think about, because I've done it enough to where I know how I feel if I don't go to the gym. And later in the day, I have, a second wind and I have energy, and I didn't go to the gym, I feel like shit. I feel terrible. Like, fuck, I wasted my opportunity, because that's like my prime time to go too, because everyone's sleeping and I don't have to watch the baby, and I can just go and do my thing. And so when I miss that, I beat myself up. So I think about that when I, am contemplating battling the little bitch voice in my head. But yeah, that's part of it too, because we need to be able to shut up those. No matter what, the brain's gonna send the signals saying stop, this is hard, don't do it anymore. So it's a practice for us to be like, no, this is just my brain sending signals. Keep going. It's a mental game, and it takes practice just like anything else. But you won't even be able to tap into that if you're not doing anything difficult. So the first step is doing difficult stuff, and then the next step is dealing with that voice, learning to overcome that voice telling you to stop. And as I mentioned, you just have to be real with yourself. There's times where the voice is right, you do need to stop, but it's not nearly as often as you think. I have great parents, and they love me, care for me, but they also are they've always been the kind of people who are like, you're crazy, you're doing too much, you need to take a rest, why don't you just relax? That kind of stuff. And sometimes it's easy to listen to that, because you have someone who cares for you telling you that your brain's right, take a break, chill out. So it's easy to rationalize doing it. So you got to be aware of that too, that people around, when you start doing these things, incorporating hard shit and pushing past the discomfort and your brain telling you to stop, the people around you are going to tell you things like, you're crazy, you're doing too much, take a break, take a rest, people will say those things, and you have to know that that's coming, and know that that's the external bitch voice. And you need to silence it either by removing those people from your life or just ignoring it and going and doing what you're going to do anyways. So those are the things when it comes to doing hard shit, self-inflicted adversity. Those are the things. You got to first audit your situation and see how cush your life really is. Are you even doing anything hard to begin with? And then start to incorporate hard things. Start with something easier that doesn't require resources, like waking up uncomfortably early, well before the sun comes up. I'm talking 4 o'clock. Get up early as shit. Because that's going to give you an opportunity to, fight those thoughts that are telling you to stop. And that's number 3. The self-talk and the stopping of overcoming the brain signals. You're gonna be told, your brain's gonna tell you to stop. You have to keep pushing on. And then lastly, the external part, the people around you that are telling you you're crazy and why are you doing that stuff. Those people you either need to cut out or ignore. But I highly suggest that if you're someone who wants to get leveled up, which is probably you if you're watching this, you have to do hard shit. That's what forms you into the person you need to be in order to level up. So hopefully this resonates with you. Hopefully you do want to level up, and hopefully you start incorporating some hard shit into your life. And then, it's a never-ending thing too, Like I said with Goggins, he's done every fucking hard thing, and he's still seeking out hard things to continue to callous his mind, because it's constantly a way for you to strengthen your mind and just keep yourself hard. You need to stay hard, be hard, and do hard shit. So post in the comments what hard shit you're going to incorporate in your life, or you have started incorporating in your life. Let me know if you have any input or tips or things that you've done to add some self-inflicted adversity into your life. And that's all for today. I appreciate you tuning in. Again, follow me over on Instagram and TikTok at The Real Mike Adler. And hit subscribe on YouTube, and give this episode a share for someone who needs to hear it and needs to do some hard shit. And then lastly, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching with me, shoot me a message either on Instagram or TikTok, or you can email me at therealmikeadler@gmail.com. And let's work. Let's get you leveled up to become the best person, the best version of yourself there is to be. And also, if you're trying to get in shape, I have the Get Fit Blueprint. If you're looking to get in shape and have the body you desire, click the link in my bio to sign up for that. Not in my bio, in the description box below to sign up for that. And then, as always, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, do something hard. Incorporate hard shit in your life. And see how much it allows you to grow as a person. See you next time. Peace.